Welcome back to another edition of Talking Ball. It's Jack here, and today we're looking at Yegor. I can't say his name right. I'm sorry, guys. Demin, the guard from BYU who started his career with Real Madrid. One of the guys who definitely benefited from the NIL and is part of the reason why there's a lot more international prospects coming over for college basketball. A good thing for college basketball and a good thing for draft analysts like myself who will get a better glimpse of them, a little bit easier to watch when they play in college basketball. So who is Egor Demin? Demin, let's talk about the offense first. He's an elite passer. He's one of the top three passers, I would say, in this draft, and you could certainly make the argument he is the best. He is a guy who sees the floor extremely well at 6'9". He can see over the defense, and he has an ability. You know how some people are like one play ahead? Demin at times can be two or three passes ahead of the defense. To really a special ability that he has, and he has the ability, like a football quarterback, to pass his teammates open. And that's really rare. You don't see that a lot from guys in general, let alone freshmen in the collegiate level. With Demin, he had some inconsistency, I would say, with his shooting. He shot the ball relatively well, or especially in clutch moments, I should say, in the NCAA tournament. He started off the year against inferior competition, shooting the ball really well, and then struggled once they started playing more difficult teams than non-conference play and conference play, and he finished up shooting around 27% from three. So that's going to be an area of concern. The reason why that's a concern is because with Demin, on the ball, with his passing ability, he's just fine. And he can create his own shot utilizing, he really likes the turnaround jumper from the mid-range. Like that free throw line area is really where he likes to get his mid-range shots off with a turnaround because he can utilize his size to shoot over most defenders. But the reason why the shooting percentage is a concern is because off the ball, it's hard to say how much he gives you. He's not a great cutter, although he'll do it occasionally. He's a smart player, but because he's not a great shooter, off the ball, there are definitely concerns. So that brings me to his ability to separate. We talked about his turnaround jumper offensively, but he's not the best athlete, although he is deceptive. He has good quickness offensively to be able to create some separation. But he does typically need a screen to kind of get downhill and create space from his defender. And that's okay. Perfectly fine. He's just not a guy who's going to really be shifty one-on-one and create that separation. And that, makes sense based off of his background. So Demin defensively is, a guy who will get into the passing lanes, averaged over a steal per game. He's got good size and length and will compete on the defensive end of the court. And when he gets a steal, he's able to get the ball going offensively with a pass ahead. Like, he's not always just looking for the assist. He will take the hockey assist. He will pass the ball ahead to start the early transition. At the same time, there are times where he can be beaten by quicker players defensively. He doesn't have the best lateral quickness defensively. He's one of those kind of guys who offensively he seems to move a little bit better than he does defensively for whatever reason that might be. He's just not as great at moving laterally when his back is facing the basket. So with Demin, as we move to the stats here, he's a guy who averaged just over 10 points, over 5.5 assists, 3.6 rebounds, over a steal per game. And then the shooting, the scoring percentages is where some of the concerns come in. 41% from the field, 27% from three on 4.7 attempts, 55% on his two. So that goes along with, he does finish better than you might think. Some of that's the spacing at BYU. They ran an NBA-style offense, so they had good spacing. But some of that is his size, ability to finish around the basket and from that mid-range area like we talked about earlier. However, the other concern with his shooting, under 70% from the free throw line on 2.5 attempts is just, it's just troubling moving to the next level. The key for Demin, 3-point shooting. If this guy becomes a 36% 3-point shooter, he's going to have the ball in his hands a lot, and he's going to be able to be, a probably like a number 2 player on a good team. Like he's got that kind of upside because of his passing ability. The Josh Giddey comps that I've seen a lot makes sense based off of his strengths and weaknesses. But if he's not able to shoot the 3 consistently well, it's going to be a struggle for Demin at the next level because he's really a guy who needs the ball. And so I think if he can't shoot the 3, his role is going to be diminished as probably an off-the-bench kind of guy. So let me know what you guys think about Demin. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.